What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Kinstretch class brought to you by Stretch Tech. My name is Coach Luke, and I'm taking you through today's 25-minute hip adduction and abduction focused Kinstretch class. So, hip adduction is coming towards the midline of the body with the leg, and abduction is going away from the midline of the body. And that's probably the joint motion that we train the least, because naturally we always think about more flexion and extension, say like running, squatting, all those things there. And then internal rotation is the fundamental joint motion of the hip and the shoulder. We really have all of our joints, so the better our internal rotation is, the better everything else will be, right? So internal rotation, definitely in these Kinstretch classes, we make sure we train them as much as we can. So adduction and abduction is really the two components of the hip that tends to get neglected the most. That's the most focus today. So I'm going to get right into the sideline hip cars. So from here, you got two blocks. You got one block under the head, one block can tug chest there, or you can go out in front there, whatever you prefer. Whatever feels like you get more stability through the core, right? So you want to match the upper body tension to the lower body tension. We're going to do 3 reps here. First rep, think like 30 to 40%. Second rep, 50 to 60. And then the last rep, about 70 to 80% full body tension. So wherever you want to hold the block, start first rep, we're going to go flexion, abduction. So that's one of the components we'll train today. Internally rotate, step back, nothing else moves. Just moving through that hip and reverse. I'll extend back, lift that leg, so it's abduction as well. Come over, and now as our leg comes down towards the midline, that is our abduction, abduction. Second rep, up the tension just a little bit. Like 50 to 60%. And reverse. Back, lift, and over, back down. Last one, up the tension even more, so even more body tension, more core tension. Drive that bottom leg into the floor even harder. Get even more strict, more meticulous with that motion. Nothing else is moving except that hip. Over the top. And switch. Walk out front. Brace that core. Stack the feet. So the feet will be lined up with my hips, lined up with my shoulders. Knees are at about 45 degrees. First rep about 30%. Get good. 30%, 30 to 40% contraction through that midsection. One side maybe a little better or worse than the other side. I know my right side doesn't make the rotate as much, so I need to take that into account and be more strict, more detailed with my movement, because my body wants to help me compensate. Second rep, potentially even more, rotate, drive back, stand through, reset that core tension. Heel goes back, make sure it's hip extension and not lumbar or low back extension. Lift that leg. Come over. Down. We got one more rep here. Tight, even tighter, like 70 to 80%. Full body contraction. Drive that bottom leg into the floor. Squeeze the life out of that block. Nothing else is moving except that hip. Stand back. Lift. Over and down. Very good. Okay, so from there, I'll go back to our right side. Back to the side we started on. We're going to do adduction, abduction, so probably towards the midline of the body. Passive range lift off first. Okay, so I'm just going to come up here, make sure I have a straight line between my elbow, hip, and this bottom leg. So I got my heel all the way up to my shoulder, all the way up to my head. I got a good straight line. We're going to go 15 passive range lift offs here, so I can pull my leg here, pull the shin, and go there. Whatever allows me to be more secure, more locked in my position. So I don't want to do this, right? I want to make sure everything stays tight, and I'm only lifting that leg, okay? Now we got 15 reps. Walk out that leg. I think as you lift, we're not lifting the toe, but I think lift the heel, okay? Lock in, lift, 1, lift, 2, lift, 3, lift, 4, lift, 5, lift, 6, lift, 7, lift, 8, lift, 10, 5 more, lift, 11, lift, 12, lift, 13, lift, 14, last one, lift, squeeze, and 15. Okay, let's do that. Here, back on top, full body brace, straight line from my elbow all the way down to my foot. You may have one side that's better than the other, so you take that into account with your position. It's harder on this side. You can just make sure that you really need to make sure that you're blocking even more. It's easier. You can make it a little tougher by lifting that torso a little bit more. Okay, so lock in wherever you're at. The leg is straight. Lift. Down. 1. Lift. 2. Lift. 3. Lift. 4. Lift. 5. Lift. 6. Lift. 7. Lift. 8. Lift. 9. Lift. 10. Lift. 11. Lift. 12. Lift. 13. Lift. 14. Last one. And lift. 15. Good. So we did those passive range lift-offs for a couple different reasons. One, to kind of prime the tissue, kind of wake them up a little bit, get them kind of firing, getting going. But then the next reason we want to do is because we want to find where that passive range ended, or where active range ended, excuse me. So for most of us, if we were here, we got probably about the height of this block. So that's usually where we want to be. If we're getting way up high here, that just means we need to shift our torso up a little bit. If we're getting barely off the ground, you could stay there at fully full, or you could shift the body down a little bit more to get a little bit more leg. So what we're going to do is propel the rails in the same exact position. We're going to elevate a foot onto a block. So you're going to be in the same position you're at, but you want to set that block or whatever you're using, whether it's stacked books, whether it's stacked plates, whatever you have, to about the height where your active range was. So the thing about me here, I got to about a little bit higher than the block. I want to set my object to right at that active end range. Okay? So this block would be here. Everything else will be the same. I'm going to elevate my foot onto that block. So I'm locked in, straight line of the body, everything else is the same. So now if I was going to try to lift off from here, I'm barely clearing that block. So what I could do is just shift my rib cage up, straight line here. So now as I try to lift, I'm like getting half an inch, centimeter off that block. That's where I want to be. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're just going to stay here, and then we're going to do similar to our pillows and rails. I'm not going to quite do the 2-minute stretch, but I'll find a position that's really tough for me to lift off from. So if you get a little bit off, that's okay. If you don't get off, that's even better. From there, I'm going to do a Kinstretch contraction, driving my foot down onto that block. So I'm using all this tissue to press down. Build up 10, max effort 10, just like our other pillows and rails. And then my rails contraction is going to be a max effort lift for 15 seconds. We'll come down, we'll relax. We'll do that one more time. And then we'll do another set of passive range lift-offs for 15. Those for sides. Okay? The body's locked in. Lift that rib cage between the two. You're still able to get your foot up from here. Then you just swivel this arm this way. Go there. You're still able to get up there. Now you just put your hand where your elbow would be, and that would be there. Okay. There's multiple variations to train from. You want to be in a position where it's really tough to get the foot off that block. Okay, here we go. Take a breath in. Full body brace. Tight through that torso and start driving your foot down onto that block. We're going to build up for 10. 20%, 30%, 40%, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, max average. Feeling that core working here, drive down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now rails, nothing else moves, everything else stays the same. Max effort, try to get that foot off that block. If you don't, that's okay. If you do, that's great. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Max it out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And back down. So if you notice, as I went, I kept contracting harder and harder and harder because I look at that foot a little bit higher. So what I can do now, if I want, I'll leave the block there, or if you're using a block and you're barely getting off, throw a notebook, throw some, small book, just keep incrementally increasing. Okay, we got one more set. So we got a straight line, there, heel in front, hip is down, rib cage is up. There we go. Deep breath. Next breath in, pat the air down. Take breath in. Full body brace and start driving your foot down on the block. We're at 10%. 20, 30, each second go up, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and max effort crush. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rails. Max effort. Get it up. Get it up. Keep that rib cage up. Keep going. Keep going. Max it out. Max it out. Max effort. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Very good. Throw the block off the side. Reset back up. Foot on the ground. 15 more lift outs. Lift that ribcage if you need to. Lift the body if you need to. There we go. And lift. 1. Lift. 2. Lift. 3. Lift. 4. Lift. 5. Lift. 6. Lift. 7. Lift. 8. 9. Lift. 10. 5 more. Lift. 11, lift, 12, lift, 13, lift, 14, lift, 15, and good side. We'll go back to tails and rails. 2 rounds on the left side. One more set of pass and foot rounds. So go that foot up on the block. Straight line, to my ankle, knee, hip, elbow, shoulder. From there, get full body tension, lift, find where you need to be, take a breath in, I'll need to lift that rib cage, it's up to you to find where you gotta be. Take a breath, pat the air down, get tight, start up the foot into the floor. Drive down into the block, I should say, 20%, 30%, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and max effort. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rails. Max it out, max it out, max it out, max it out. Keep going. We got 15 seconds here. Max effort contraction. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set that down. Reset the position if you need to change the block position there. And there it goes. Reset my straight line. So I'm going a little bit higher up on the block, knowing that my left side is not quite as good from the adduction perspective. So I'm still going to stay here, just knowing that I'm not going to be quite as high with the leg. That's okay. It's all about the contraction, all about the intention, not necessarily the outcome of how high you get that foot up. It's really working. Max out the contract. Here we go. Round 2. And tails contract. Start driving down. 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80%, 90%, 100% effort press down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rails. Max it out. Max it out. Max it out. Lift that rib cage again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. Throw that block to the side. We got one more set of pass rings blocks here. 15. Same position that we do tails and rails from, except now we just take the block away. Shoulder, elbow stacked, rib cage elevated. Lift, 1, lift, 2, lift, 3, back into it, lift, 4, lift, 5, lift, 6, lift, 7, lift, 8, lift, 9, lift, 10, 5 more lifts, 11, lift, 12, 13, lift, 14, last one, lift and stick it, back down, 15. That was our adduction component now. We'll go into our abduction component. So the left leg, so we'll go right leg out to the side. So I'm going to be, this leg will be kind of like a butterfly position. So maybe kind of out to the side, foot's right in front of me, slide over a little bit, so I can center over the neck. It's called a modified Cossack's position. So now this is abduction. Now this is taking my foot away from the mid on the body, as you can tell. So this is going to be the opposite end of that joint, right? So adduction, abduction is here. Abduction, abduction comes from up here. So what we're going to do is set ourselves up, modify Cossack. Again, we're not going to quite do 2-minute stretch because you technically could stretch from here, right? So the more we shift up here, the more stretch I'm going to get on those adductors that I was working. We're not going to quite do the 2-minute stretch. We're just going to go into very similar to what we did before. We're going to go tails and rails, and then we're going to do lift off. So my tails crushing down on the floor, so I'm just going to get contraction from here. Rails, max out, try to lift that heel, try to lift that straight leg directly up into here. Okay? So that's tails, rails, and then lift offs. I will shift out this way, find where I need to be. I can pull on my shin, leg straight, toe forward, just like the abduction. Lift offs, straight up and down, 15 reps. Okay? So, from there, let's get set, get as vertical as you possibly can, get the best stretch on the adductors as you possibly can. So, sit vertical, even better. Keep the instep of the foot on the floor. If you can get your full foot flat, that's okay, that's great, but it's not really required. So, finally, you gotta get a good brace, and then we'll start that tail and rails contraction. Here we go, take a breath in. Get her down, start driving the foot into the floor. So we're 10%, build it up slowly. 20%, 30%, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80%, 90%, and max effort drive down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rails, nothing else moves, everything else just changes direction. Kind of imagine you got a scale under that right foot, you're trying to get light under that scale, feel that outer glute, feel that outer hip working here, keep going, we got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Take a breath if you can. Slide that foot a little farther out to the side. Get taller with that torso. The more I shift torso vertically, the more stretching we get right here. Okay? Okay, we got 15 seconds. We'll do one more set. And we'll move into our lift offs. One more big deep breath before we come in. Belly breath, 8 count out. Get those ribs down. Exhale, full exhale. Lock in the body, take a breath in. Pack the air down. Start driving foot into the floor. 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50. Feel that contraction. 60, 70, 80, 90, and max effort. Crush down. 10, 9, 8, 7. Leg back down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rails, max effort. Try to lift that foot up in the air. You shouldn't be able to do that. You're in range. Max it out. Keep going, keep going. Keep that steady contraction. Whole time. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Very good. Shift out now. So now we're in lift off. So we should be able to get the foot off now. So we're just going to have to shift out to find where I can get my foot, just similar to the abduction we did already. So about between 4 to 5 inches off the ground. So if you're getting 1 inch, it's okay, stay there. If you're getting like a foot up, shift your body up more. Just make it a little tougher. Okay. Grab that shin. Unstick your foot from the mat like I did. Here we go. Lock in. Toes stay straight ahead. Body stays braced. Find where you got to be to lift. Down. 1. Lift. 2. 15. Lift. 3. Lift. 4. Lift. 5. Lift. 6. Lift. 7. Lift. 8. Lift. 9. Lift. 10. 5 more. Here we go. Brace. Lift. 1. 3 more. 13. Brace. 14. That's 1. Brace. Lock out. And switch. Very good. Do that butterfly. This leg now. Left leg out. There we go. Get braced. Shift the pelvis that way, right? So as I shift the pelvis, the leg will slide out with it. Get the stretch on the inside of the leg. Get tall. Okay. Okay, so we got tails rubs down, rails lifts up. Nothing else moves when that rails contraction happens. You focus on getting good deep contraction for the full 15 seconds here. Here we go. Lock in. Take a breath. Start heading down. 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50%, 60, 70, 80, 90, and max effort. Press down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rails. Max effort. Lift that foot. Keep that toe straight ahead. Do everything you can to get that foot off the ground, knowing that it probably won't. You're in range. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you can shift out more after the first set, by all means do so. You don't have to. Really focus on the tails contraction here, rails contraction, everything out of the glute and hip. We got 1 more set tails rails, and then we got 1 set of lift offs, and we are done. Okay, brace, chest tall, lock in, start driving foot to the floor. 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60%, 70%, 80, 90, and max effort. Grab down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rails. Max effort. Get that foot off the ground. Everything you got. Everything you got. Everything you got. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Woo! Okay, last thing we got. Passive range lift offs. Again, you're going to shift out a little bit, find where you got to be. Torso straight ahead. And get that foot way up. Shift my body out more. If I can't get the foot off the ground, shift my body out here. But think, imagine upper body's a statue. We're locking it in cement. Nothing else moves. Everything is still and just moving that leg. Here we go. 15 reps and we are done. Lock in. And lift. 1. Lift. 2. Lift. 3. Lift. 4. Lift. 5. Lift. 6. Lift. 7. Lift. 8. Lift. 9. Lift. 10. Here we go. 5 more. Lock in. Get even tighter. Take a breath. Pack it down. 5 more reps. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1. And 5. Very good. That is it for today. After this video is over, if you want to just finish up with some more hip cars, sideline, quadruped, standing, really any variation works. More hip cards you do throughout your daily life, the better. Keep practicing the adduction. The abduction, like I said in the beginning, is usually the area most people tend to neglect. So whether it's half leg liftoffs, more pills and riz, really the more exposure you can get to those joint motions, along with flexion extension, especially if you turn lateral rotation. Better those hips are going to function, better those hips are going to feel, the better your back is going to feel. It's just a good kind of downstream effect you get from better hip function. So thank you for joining me in today's 25-minute hip adduction and abduction focused Kinstretch class. Hope to see you after next.